Well, hey everybody, it's Paul. Welcome to my channel. I used to stand in front of this very fridge and say, if you've watched my cooking videos, welcome to my kitchen. But this is an end of an era. I am finally getting rid of this GE profile that I've had to limp along for ages. I know I did a video about 5 years ago when the freezer went out, and I used to always have to tuck rags up in the top and they'd get wet and I'd have to swap them out a couple times a day, and the freezer side was just barely cooling to equal the fridge side, so we were using it like one big refrigerator. But you know, you'd have to go downstairs to get ice or get stuff from the garage freezer if you wanted a frozen pizza. It was just, it had some great features, like through the ice maker in the door and the water in the door and such, and plus it was huge. This thing was huge, mammoth, but it came with a mammoth price tag. I think my memory serves, it was about $8,000 at the time. I bet it's probably pushing 10 grand. I have no idea, because there was no way I was going to get trapped into expensive, in my mind, appliance anymore. Nope, the old guy learned his lesson once. Now, it left a huge hole in my kitchen. I'll show you the new little unit I got for a fraction of the cost. But it did leave a hole, so I gotta get creative and figure out what I'm going to do. But so this is waiting for the power company to come get it. It is an end of an era, though. See how mammoth that thing is? Huge. Here you can see the little baby one I got. It's a Whirlpool, and it has a big hole at the top and a big hole on the sides here. So I'm going to have to get creative with some shelving or something here to give it more of the built-in look. But this sucker is deep, really deep. It stands out a lot further than the other one. But I'll tell you, there's some things that I like about it and some things I don't. I went with the Whirlpool. I've got one downstairs and I've got one in the garage, and they just work. They work good. This has the French doors, and it's quite a bit deeper. It's like a bowling alley or something that just keeps going and going back there. So this has got the fridge on top and the freezer in the bottom, and this is where the water is, which is not as nice as through the door, but what is nice is you can put one of those big bottles here versus the door one. If you put a slightly bigger one, it was always getting caught. But it's a quiet unit. This is kind of nice. Like you pull it and it opens, you know. You see that? But you have to have both doors open to do it. So I kind of think maybe it would have been better if they split it and then had the handle over here. So like, if you had the one side, you could still get like into it or something, like these ones work. So this was like $1,500, which I could go through these and not even have to clean them, right? Just throw them to the curb to the price of spending 10 grand or something on one. Jeez, oh Pete. This is the ice maker. Not as nice as through the door, but it works. It sure is nice to have ice up here when you haven't had it for some time. So far I'm really happy though. This shows you how deep it is. It's like, that's my arm's length. This unit is not deep at all. So I think that's like less than 2 feet, probably like 20 inches or something. I think they call that counter depth. The other one sticks out, but so a lot of sunk money in that bad boy. It didn't last very long at all. I mean, we limped it along, but for that kind of money, you shouldn't have to ever limp it along. You know, the reality of it is I'm learning bigger isn't always better. More expensive isn't always better. You can get by with less. You can get by with cheaper. You can get by and be happy and work just as good, if not better, because I'll tell you, you feel like you just feel taken advantage of when you spend a lot of money and the thing doesn't last like you thought it should, like anybody would think it should, it didn't, paying the extra money and not even getting a normal lifespan out of a unit's just, makes you feel stupid. I mean, we had people come over and to service it, they wanted $2,000, $3,000, and they're saying, well, it'll still be an older unit, something else can go bad and this and that. It's like, I'm not going to put $3,000 on top of already $8,000 just to have something that's still 10 years old at that time or whatever, and it go bad the next week or whatever. So it's just, once you get in, it's like, you get sucked into the high-end stuff, then it's like you're going to have to throw even more money after bad just to keep it going. Nah, I just go with the cheap ones. That way I can push it out to the curb and get another one if it goes bad and they don't want, if they want too much to fix it or whatever. But sometimes, you can get by and do actually better with cheaper. I mean, I'm a fan of going cheap anyways. You guys know that. Anyways, it's an end of an year. No more posing in front of this one for the cooking videos. So that's all right. The other one will do just as fine and save a lot of money, I guess. So anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. Stopping by to see what's new that's going on with the old guy's life. I appreciate the support. And as always, we'll see yous.